by the time I was 21, I had 3 children. What if they tell me I'm having twins? My stomach, I mean, it's literally sitting on my lap. It is. And he said that if we name them that, they'll probably never get a girl. I don't know if I'm good enough to be a mom of 9 children. Hi you guys, welcome to Crazy 8 Autism. I'm Janisha, I'm the mom. And in this video, I'm gonna be doing a story time / pregnancy update. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and of course, don't forget to share. All right, you guys, so I am in my room right now, in my rocking chair, just kind of relaxing. Hopefully I can get through this video without distractions, but we just gonna have to do what we gonna have to do. Who is it?
It's me, Twin.
Come in.
Did you put your no digging outfits in the washer?
They're in the dryer, both of them. So hopefully he don't dig before then. But all right, you guys, so I have some notes because I don't want to forget any important points. So if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes so I can stay on target. And I am currently pregnant, excuse me, with twins. I am married. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 7 children, and 3 of my 7 children have autism. And so that's a little bit of background information on me. So let me go ahead and start with the story time. All right, so when I was 18 years old, I'm going way back. When I was 18 years old, I was in a relationship with someone and I got pregnant. And I found out I was pregnant with twins, fraternal twin girls. So my 2 daughters that you guys sometimes see here and there in the videos, my 2 oldest daughters, they are fraternal twins. And so I found out I was pregnant with twins. I was very, very young. I was working at Starbucks at the time. I had just got me a little place and I was going back to school. I was in school. I was attending University of Michigan in Flint, taking some courses. At that time, I was planning on becoming a nurse, and then I wanted to become a pediatrician. So when I got pregnant, I became very, very sick, and I was diagnosed with hyperemesis gravidarum. And for those of you that don't know, that is extreme nausea and vomiting. Extreme to the point you might have to be hospitalized. I lost like 20 pounds. You couldn't even tell I was pregnant when I was 5 months. But anyways, I had to be taken out of school because I was too sick. My manager pulled me to the side and she's like, you know, you're always welcome to come back, but I'm gonna have to have you leave for right now because you're just too sick. You keep going in and out of the bathroom and you're holding up the line. She was very, very nice about it. Of course I understood. And so at this point I'm out of school and I'm also out of work. And so when I was about 6 months, I started going into preterm labor with my twins, and the doctors gave me different medications to try. They gave me some steroids to try to speed up the twins' lungs developing. And when I hit about 32 weeks, there was really nothing else that they could do. The medications weren't working, and they decided to go ahead and take the twins. So I did have a C-section because the twins were breech. So I had them at 32 weeks, and they stayed in the hospital for about 2 weeks. Now, they were 4 pounds 3 ounces, 4 pounds 5 ounces. They were very healthy. They did very well. They never made it to the NICU because the hospital that I delivered them at had a NICU, but it also had like a step-up nursery. So the sickest babies would go to the NICU, and then the babies that needed some assistance, but not as much, would go to the step-up nursery. And so my twins, they were in the step-up nursery, And in about 2 weeks after that, I was able to take them home. Everything was great with that. So fast forward, 16 months later, I'm still in this relationship with the same guy, and I got pregnant again. This time I got pregnant with another daughter, and that's my daughter Kamari, who is almost 16. So by the time I was 21, I had 3 children, 3 daughters that were 16 months apart. So that's a little bit of a background on that. So my relationship with my older 3 daughters' father did not work out. We went on with life. And when I turned about 24, that is when I met my husband. And I have been with him ever since. And so, Junior. All right, you guys, Junior came in the room. You know, Junior is my nonverbal son who is 9. He has autism. And he was trying to tell me something. So I had to get him situated in his room. All right, so he's good to go. All right, so where did we leave off at? Okay, so when I was 24, I met my husband. And I've been with him ever since. Okay, is this camera crooked? Let me see. So about 3 years into me and my husband's marriage, I got pregnant, and I was very excited. My husband was excited, and I was super nauseous. I do remember that, like very nauseous. It was debilitating. It was only for a short period of time. I went to the bathroom one morning, and I went to wipe, and there was like old blood. So that was the first time that had ever happened to me. And unfortunately, I did go on to have a miscarriage. So it was very early in that pregnancy. I had a miscarriage at 5 weeks, 2 days. And yeah, it was pretty devastating, to be honest. So about 3 months went by, and I got pregnant again with Junior. And Junior is now 9 years old. He is on the spectrum. About 3 years after Junior, I got pregnant again with another son, and that is Levi. Levi is 6, and he's also on the spectrum. And then about 2.5-ish years later, almost 3, I got pregnant with our daughter, Moriah. Moriah is 4. She just turned 4, and she is also on the spectrum. So our first 3 children have been diagnosed with autism. Okay, so fast forward about 3 years later, I got pregnant again with another boy, and that is Josiah. Josiah Elijah, such a precious baby. And yeah, here we are today. So if you pay attention to what I'm saying, there was at least 2.5 to 3 years in between each child. Okay, and so you can only imagine that with this pregnancy around, I was very shocked. I found out I was pregnant when Josiah was about 9 months. And I just remember looking up at him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I like the baby to be a baby for like 2-3 years. You know what I'm saying? Let him or her get their time in. And it's just not the case this time around. Actually, the same thing that is getting ready to happen happened to me in my earlier years. The 3 kids, 16 months apart. I'm getting ready to have 3 children, 16 to 17 months apart. So same exact scenario happening. But anyways, so that's some story time, some background information, just to kind of let y'all know who I am, because you really don't know anything about me. And so that is what I'm willing to share, just to kind of paint that picture for you. So yes, when Josiah was about 9 years old, when Josiah was about 9 months old, I don't know, something was just kind of telling me to take a pregnancy test. And you know, us as females, a lot of us think we're pregnant a lot of times, and we're not, right? Our period comes, because pregnancy is so much similar to your period in the beginning. So it can be very confusing. But something was tugging at me like, go ahead, take a test. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking to my husband, and my husband's not really paying me no attention because he's gotten me tests before. I've went out and got tests, took it, and you get what I'm saying? Every blue moon, it might be positive. So I'm like, I don't really want to waste my money, but at the same time, I am getting the test from the Dollar Tree. So I go to the Dollar Tree, I put my hand on the pregnancy test, and I put it back on the shelf. I'm like, I don't really need this. A couple days go by, I'm like, I dropped the little ones off to therapy. I'm talking to my husband on the phone because my husband is a truck driver and he works over the road. He works a lot. So I'm talking to him. I'm like, I think I'm gonna stop and get a test. And he's just like, okay, you're not about to be pregnant, but okay. So I go to the Dollar Tree, I get a test. And I know me, I'm not waiting to take a test. I'm not putting it in the drawer in the nightstand and waiting to get that morning pee. I'm not doing that. I want to know right now so I can just relax my mind and move on with life, right? And so I pulled up to the house, and in my mind, without saying anything to anyone, I'm like, I'm going to bring this test in. I'm going to go run and use the bathroom, and I'm going to pee on this test and just see what the results are. And so I did that. I'm on the phone with my husband the whole time, and I pee on this stick, and I'm sitting there waiting, not waiting very long, and I see the second line appearing, and I'm just like, I immediately put my head up to the ceiling, and I'm like, at this point, my husband is just on the phone with me, and I'm not saying anything, and I'm like, and that line start coming up even darker. I had only missed my period 2 days, and so it's like, why is this line so dark? Wasn't thinking nothing of it at that time. And so I go into my bedroom to collect my thoughts. My husband, he's so nonchalant about it. So just, you know, like, well, about to have another baby. And I'm the one freaking out. I'm the one like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this, you know what I'm saying? And I know some people would be like, why can't you believe it? Because I can't, okay? So, anyways, so we accept that there's another baby coming, okay? Our family's going to be expanding by one extra person. And so some time goes on, and I'm a woman like that's very intuitive. I'm a very spiritual woman. I believe in signs and wonders, and when certain things happen, I don't think that it just is by coincidence. I think it's for a reason. And so I started noticing two of everything. On my YouTube feed, it was women that were pregnant with twins. And I had been looking at pregnancy content, but not twin content, but it just kept flooding my feed. And I thought that was kind of strange. And then I would just see these random pairs of things. And I'm like, that's kind of strange. Is that a sign? So I remember 2 days before my appointment. Let me backtrack a little bit. So when I had first missed my period for about 2 weeks, I was feeling like I was on top of the world. I was drinking my water, taking care of myself. I just felt great, right? Was very mindful of what I was eating. When I hit that 6-week mark, all of that went down the drain. And I just started feeling like pure crap. I was so nauseous. It was debilitating. I was throwing up. I didn't have hyperemesis, although I thought I had that, because I have been diagnosed with that throughout 3 of my pregnancies. But I'm like, let me just go ahead and schedule a doctor's appointment. You know, so they scheduled me for that 8-week appointment, which was going to be my first appointment. And they were going to give me an ultrasound to confirm the pregnancy. 2 days before my appointment, I was talking to my husband and my daughter. We were all downstairs, and I'm like, I'll go get my ultrasound in 2 days. What if they tell me I'm having twins? My daughter, Kamari, she just looks at me like, she didn't even say nothing. And then my husband's like, don't say that. I'm like, well, you never know. So appointment day comes. My husband's working. He's over the road. I have to go to this appointment by myself. And for whatever reason, I became so nervous, like very, very nervous. When I was driving, my hand was numbing up. I was talking to the Creator, and I'm just like, Most High, you see all things. You allow certain things to happen in our lives, and whatever you're getting ready to give me, I know that you're not going to leave me astray. I know that you're going to give me the tools and resources that I need to get through. And so whatever it is, I'm just going to accept it. So I get into my appointment. I'm in the waiting room, and I'm just so nervous. And I'm like, okay, let me calm down. Let me relax. They call me to the back to do the ultrasound first. I lay on the table. I'm so nervous. The lady puts the gel on my stomach. Even though I was only 8 weeks, she's like, hey, we're going to see if we can see something, doing it the abdominal way first. And if not, then we'll just go ahead and do it the other way, the vaginal way. So I'm like, okay. So I lay on the table. She puts the gel on my stomach. And this thing looks crooked. I hope this thing is not crooked, because I'm sitting here. Look, if this is crooked, y'all, I'm so sorry, but you're going to have to just watch this content with me being crooked, because I'm not going to be able to re-record this. I do apologize. She puts the gel on my stomach. She gets that tool, I can't think of what it's called, that you put over the gel. And the first spot that she put it on, there were 2 circles, and they were side by side. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's 2. And she said, yeah, there's 2. I'm like, I knew it. I knew it. And so, yeah, that is when it was confirmed at that 8-week appointment that I was pregnant with twins. To do, more appointments, I got a referral to see the maternal fetal medicine, the high-risk doctor, and it was confirmed that I am carrying identical twins, and they are considered monodi twins, and they have a very thin membrane separating them. Whew. So I'm very happy about that. So I'm almost 26 weeks. I have almost made it to the 6.5 month mark. And I'm very happy and appreciative of that, because I do know that there are so many women that do not have that same outcome. So yeah, that's basically some story time, some background information on me, so you guys can just know a little bit more about myself. So let's go over how I'm feeling. So I feel pretty big. This is the biggest that I've ever been, actually, like weighing on the scale out of all my pregnancies, even the first one. This by far, I am the biggest. So I feel big. I feel pretty good. I just been, for the most part, taking breaks, making sure I'm laying down, putting my feet up so I can get some good blood flow going, because I really don't want to deal with any swelling or nothing like that. Do I have any concerns about this pregnancy? Well, let me backtrack. I still get nauseous. There was a little period where once I hit like 16 weeks, like for a couple of weeks, I just didn't have any nausea, but it came back. And so I am nauseous every day, but I'm not throwing up. I don't need to take any medication or nothing for it. So I'm doing good with that. I just have to make sure that I don't go long periods of times without eating. And yeah, that's pretty much that. I'm very uncomfortable at nighttime. I now officially have insomnia. I am not sleeping at nighttime. My sleep is very broken and scattered. And I think it's because I have to get up so much to pee. And I'm just not comfortable. And I also think that when you get kind of closer towards the end of your pregnancy, and comment down below if you agree with me on this. When you get down to the end of your pregnancy, it's almost as if your body starts to keep you up. It starts to prepare you for your baby or your babies, right? For the change that's getting ready to happen in your life. And so I've experienced it every pregnancy. This by far is the most extreme, but that is understandable. The last appointment that I had, I asked my OB to measure my stomach. So of course y'all can't see my stomach. I mean, it's literally sitting on my lap. It is huge. Y'all can't see it. But typically they don't measure your stomach when you're pregnant with twins because it's not an accurate measurement. Of course you're going to measure farther along than what you really are. So I got measured when I was 24 weeks. And y'all, do y'all want to know what my stomach was measuring when I was 24 weeks, almost 2 weeks ago? It was measuring at 34 weeks. I'm almost 26 weeks. 2 weeks have went by since then. I know my stomach has to be now measuring at least 36 weeks. How am I gonna get to 36 weeks? Like how? So my original due date is May 30th. Because I'm pregnant with identical twins, mono-dyed twins, the goal is to get to 36 weeks. So if I can carry these babies to 36 weeks, they're going to deliver them at 36 weeks. That puts me around April 30th. How far can a woman's stomach stretch? I mean, I'm sure it just depends, but I mean, come on, there has to be some type of cap. If I'm 34 weeks right now measuring, if I'm measuring 10 weeks ahead, whoo, y'all, I don't know when I'm gonna have these babies. But I don't think I'm gonna make it to 36 weeks. I don't think that's happening. Do I have any fears this pregnancy? Now that I can feel the babies move, no. At first, you know, when you can't feel the movements yet and stuff, you're always like second guessing, like, oh, I hope my pregnancy goes well and everything like that. But now that I can feel them move consistently and they kind of have like patterns, I'm okay with that. The only thing, I wouldn't say that I have fears, I would say that I have anxiety. And I am kind of anxious. I will be lying. I'm anxious about just not knowing when they're gonna come, because I have so many goals that I want to achieve before they get here. And it's just so hard because it's like we don't know when they're coming. And then on top of that, each day, like each week, I'm getting very uncomfortable. So it's like it's becoming harder for me to do things around the house that require a lot of moving around. It's very hard for me to bend over. I actually cannot bend over anymore. The way the twins position themselves is very low to begin with. If baby A goes down any farther, the baby's gonna come out, okay? I have a pregnancy pillow. I have compression socks. I have a pregnancy belt. I just try to use those things. It is hot. Did I bring my fan up here? Nope, I didn't bring my fan up here. Let me see what else. I'm gonna be having a repeat C-section, so that's pretty much what we're gonna be doing with that. I've already had a few C-sections, so this is not my first rodeo. I do not like to have C-sections. I would rather just deliver the baby vaginally the way that we're meant to. But I do understand there's certain circumstances where it is much safer to have a C-section. Um, I do have one fear, because I said earlier that I didn't have any fears. I do have a fear. I have a fear of being able to feel the C-section when it's happening. When they numb you up, you can feel your legs tingling. At least I can. And I can't feel them cutting me open though. I can feel the pressure with getting the baby out, but I can't feel, of course, them cutting me, but I can feel my legs tingling. And so I just don't like that feeling. Oh, it's just such a helpless feeling. You're laying there. You can do absolutely nothing for yourself, but just lay there with your arms out, you know. And you have to put all your trust into the hands of those doctors. And so it's very important to pray before you go in to have a surgery, because you don't know what's going to be the outcome of that. And they could make one wrong move and your life can be taken. But I don't want to go left with that. How am I feeling emotionally? How do I feel emotionally? That's a good question. I kind of feel like I just don't know how I'm going to pull this off. Like, I don't know how... I don't know if I'm good enough to be a mom of 9 children. I don't really feel like I'm worthy enough, to be honest with you. I believe that the Creator assigns our children to us for whatever reason. And my children have been assigned to me. And I don't really feel like I'm the best fit. But yet, am I really going to question the Creator? Because if there was somebody else that was a better fit, then they would have been assigned my position. But instead, I'm assigned it. And it's like, I don't want to second guess the Creator. But it's like, I feel like I don't know how I'm going to pull this off. You know, how am I going to do the things that I need to do and be there for 9 children? You know, how? So that is like a fear of mine, a worry. Another worry that I have is Josiah. So Josiah is currently 15 months and he's a baby. You know what I'm saying? He is the baby of the house. And I just feel so sad just thinking about how he's not going to be the baby anymore. I mean, he's still going to be the baby. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be 2 more babies. And I don't want him to feel like they've came in and took his spot. So I think that there are some things that I can do to prevent that from happening. I can try to include him in as much as possible and just give him extra love and just, you know, let him participate in sitting with me while I'm holding the babies and just stuff like that. Because sometimes when Mariah come up to me, Josiah's like, go. He's literally like, go. He says it. And it's just so funny. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you going to do to your baby brothers when they get here? Because you can't be, you know, pushing them out the way saying go. He's probably going to be like, oh my goodness, what has happened? Why are these babies here? Like, I don't know what he's gonna think. But I've been nesting like crazy. I've been getting all types of different stuff. Me and my husband, I'm a bargain shopper, y'all. So I find tons of deals on Facebook Marketplace. I go to different thrift stores. You know, I've been going to Marshall's. I've been finding stuff at Walmart here and there. I just get stuff here and there. And eventually, when we get closer to the time, I'm going to go through everything and see, okay, what else do I need? And I'm going to record that as well. So that video will be coming out in the future of me getting my bedroom together, getting it all prepared, disinfected, getting everything organized for the arrival of the twins. I don't know if there's anything else that I need to go over. Do we have names picked out? Yes. My husband has 2 names picked out. And the 2 names that I like, he just thinks it sounds horrible. And he said that if we name them that, they'll probably never get a girl. I'm like, what? Really? You think that way? So we have 2 names picked out. I figured I'm gonna pray about it. Whatever their names is supposed to be, regardless of what we're coming up with, in due time, the Creator will reveal to me and my husband, this is gonna be their name. But yeah, you guys, this is pretty much it. I really appreciate you guys watching this video if you come across it. A couple people have asked me for a pregnancy update, so I'm like, here we go, here's my update. And yeah, so you guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, don't forget to share this video if you really enjoyed watching it. If you guys found yourself here, it was not by mistake, because he makes no mistakes, right? If you're watching this video, thank you for taking out time in your life to listen to me, you know, tell you about my life. I appreciate you. Thank you for that. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. And I will catch you on the next video. Bye.